This is the story of a single aircraft, F4F Wildcat, Bureau number 3986, found more than 10,000 feet under the Coral Sea. Her pilot's markings visible, even after 76 years, from the decks of the Saratoga to the skies above Bougainville, to being flown by the Navy's first ace, to an engine that refused to start, and the chain of events that followed. Wildcat number 3986 entered service on August 7, 1941, and was assigned to VFF 221, Marine Fighting Squadron 221. She wasn't remarkable by the standards of the aircraft she would fly alongside. The Zero outperformed the Wildcat in climb rate and maneuverability. What she carried was ruggedness, armor behind the pilot, self-sealing fuel tanks, an aircraft that could take battle damage and return her pilot to the deck. That quality defined Bureau number 3986 more than any other. On August 24, 1941, Bureau number 3986 was transferred from VMF 221 to VF3 on the Saratoga. Her assigned pilot was Noel Gayler. Gayler's name was painted on the fuselage. On January 11, 1942, Saratoga was torpedoed by a Japanese submarine and pulled from the Pacific for repair. VF3 was reassigned to the USS Lexington CV-2, and Gayler's name remained on the fuselage, though other pilots would fly her. On the morning of May 8, 1942, the pilot assigned to Bureau number 3986 got into the cockpit and tried to start the engine, which did not start and determined the plane's fate before any Japanese aircraft appeared. Brief word. These accounts are not drawn from textbooks. On my desk is an envelope hand-signed by Noel Gayler, whose name remained on F4F 3986's fuselage long after she left his care. On top of it, a 1/700 scale F4F 3986, which came with my Trumpeter Lexington kit and uses Starfighter decals. When I document Bureau number 3986, I'm not merely reciting facts. I am preserving the record of something I have held in my own hand. If these records matter to you, subscribe to the ACE Archive. The beginning is February 20th, 1942 over the skies of Bougainville. On February 20th, 1942, when Lexington was in the Coral Sea, when radar detected enemy aircraft, Bureau number 3986 flew 2 patrols. Flown on the first patrol by Leon Haynes and his wingman, Bert Stanley, shot down a patrol plane. Flown on the second patrol by Thach developer John Thach, he shot down 1 plane and assisted in a second. What is certain, at least 3 of the 4 kill markings on this aircraft are from Noel Gayler when he flew a separate aircraft. The fuselage does not show what the aircraft accomplished. The fuselage shows what Gayler accomplished. On April 11, 1942, F4F Bureau number 3986 was pulled from the rotation for a different kind of mission. Edward Butch O'Hare, Lieutenant, U.S. Navy, needed this aircraft for a photo shoot. O'Hare made history flying a different Wildcat on February 20, 1942, when he intercepted 8 Japanese bombers and shot down 5 in 5 minutes. On April 21, 1942, O'Hare was awarded the Medal of Honor by President Roosevelt. O'Hare became the Navy's first ace in the war. The footage of O'Hare in F4F 3986 during his photo shoot became a defining image of USN air power in the early Pacific War. O'Hare did not survive the war. He was killed in a nighttime intercept operation in late 1943. In 1949, Orchard Airport became O'Hare Airport. More than 80 million passengers a year go through O'Hare. If you've ever sprinted through Terminal 3 trying to make a connection, you are running through a building named for a pilot who flew F4F 3986. In November of 1990 and 1992, a film crew went through Terminal 3. That will be a future entry in the archive. On April 15, 1942, 3986 was transferred to VF2 and VF3 was relieved by VF2. While Gayler's name remained, she was reassigned to Albert Vorse. 3 weeks later, Lex and Yorktown were in the Coral Sea. Opposing Lex and Yorktown were Shokaku, Zuikaku, and Shoho that were covering the Port Moresby invasion force. Richard Bull was assigned to fly F4F 3986 on May 8, 1942. When Bull jumped into 3986's cockpit and tried to start the engine, it did not start. Due to 3986's faulty engine, Bull took his wingman's plane. Richard Bull's wingman, Ensign Bain, took off in 3986 after the mechanics fixed her. During this mission, Bain was credited with damaging a Zero. Bain followed Torpedo 2's TBDs to the Lexington and landed. Bull flying Bain's original aircraft did not return. 3986 may have been shot down on this mission if it hadn't had the engine failure. The Battle of the Coral Sea turned into a stalemate, and Lex was hit by 2 bombs and 2 torpedoes. Lexington was abandoned at 1707 due to explosions caused by gas vapors. At 1952, Lexington was scuttled by the Phelps, and Bureau number 3986, carrying all her markings, went down with her. In 2018, the Petrel, funded by Paul Allen, found the Lexington in 10,000 feet of water. F4F 3986 was found nearby, largely intact and upright. Noel Gayler's name, his kill markings, and Felix the Cat were visible after 76 years. No Wildcat above water has a comparable record. F4F 3986 flew in 3 squadrons and had at least 6 Navy Cross recipients and a Medal of Honor recipient sit in her. She didn't choose any of this. She was assigned. She flew. She went down with her ship. And 76 years later, she was still there carrying her former pilot's name and record. She's more than an aircraft. She's a witness to history. The Lexington Aircraft Recovery Project aims to recover F4F 3986 in the TBDs. There is no TBDs on land, and there is no Wildcat with a comparable record on land. What rests on the ocean floor is one of the last physical records of the Battle of the Coral Sea. Support the project. TBD 0291 from Lexington's Torpedo 2 is already in the archive. SBD 2119 from Lex Enterprise and Midway is gonna be next.